Mac here, the trauma coach. This is part 2 of the second commandment of the 4 goals and 10 commandments that form the path that take you from trauma to joy, that take you out of the valley of the shadow of death, the place where trauma sends us after we experience it. And so this nuanced stuff is important, as I've told you. And what I want to tell you is that whether we all like to admit it or not, we're more fragile people after trauma enters our lives. And why is that? Well, we're ignorant. We don't know this valley of the shadow of death. We don't know anything about it. So what do? We apply the things we know how to do, which is I fake like I'm okay and I suck it up. And that doesn't work very well for very long in the valley of the shadow of death. So the bottom line is that we're more fragile, and ignorance feeds this fragility. So I want to show you some images. First one I want to show you is something I call the perpetual tempest that gets created inside of all of us after we go through something traumatic. And this is what it looks like. Okay, you can see that big, violent cloud that's brewing, right? And that's in us after we go through something traumatic. Now, let me show you what we're dealing with. We're dealing with grief, which is just love looking for its object, but the object isn't there anymore. I'll introduce you to the guy who taught me that. Anxiety left unattended to can become paralyzing. Anger left unattended to can become rage. And then there's the emotions that go with all that. Why did this happen to me or my family or my friends? Why would God do this to me? So all that swirls in that tempest. And that tempest is bigger or smaller on any given day. And it appears in our life as anger and as anxiety. Those are the 2 major ways it appears. What counteracts that? Wisdom. What you're doing right here, learning about it. That's why it's so important that you watch these reels. It's so important that you share them and talk about this stuff, because this is normal person stuff, okay? Wisdom creates strength. Strength is the mechanism that gets us on that path from trauma to joy and gets us out of the valley of the shadow of death. Wisdom begets strength. So to review, we're more fragile. Ignorance breeds that, and wisdom creates strength. Now, there's 2 things I want you to do. 1, rummage around on my website, fromtraumatojoy.com. There's good stuff there. And there's a blueprint to do this disguised as my book. Okay, check that out. 2, like, share, and subscribe to this. Why? Because people are going to see those notifications. And somebody you know who's in a dark place right now is going to watch these things and going to create a conversation with you because of it. And you're going to get a chance to save their life and change yours. And you need to do that. And finally, if you're a person of faith, if you describe yourself as somebody who is spiritual, or if you just want to live a great life, this is the path you need to walk.